It's always a little fun getting it put in the old driveway here. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. We're having a great day. We got another Grand Design Momentum toy hauler that JD and I are putting some solar, Victron, all that kind of fun stuff on here. Little bit of different things on this one. Let's go take a look at it and see what JD's already up to.
All right, we got the old batteries taken out. They're sitting here and here. The enclosures down there.
Yeah.
We're gonna see if we can fit the backboard right here, the inverter, charge controller, links distributor, and get the batteries to fit here and here. It's gonna be tight.
What are we running for batteries in this one?
I believe we've got two, I'm not sure the brand, they're 300 amp hour, 12 volt batteries, a 12 volt system going in here.
I thought, is it 12 or is it 24?
That Multiplus says 12.
Okay, I was wrong. Maybe that's somebody else's system we're doing a 24 on. We were talking about, I was like, oh, this is gonna be a 24 volt system. Sorry, we're down to a basic 12 again.
Yeah, that's okay. So yeah, get it all fit nice and snugly in here and with some air circulation so it stays cool. The generator right here on this side, sometimes it does warm up. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, yeah, we're gonna try and make the magic happen in here. It's gonna be tight. Let's take a look and see about what's different about this. So customers supplied this stuff, and yes, we will work when you supply the equipment. That's just fine. They got these larger rec panels. Do you remember what the wattage was on these?
No, we haven't found out yet. We gotta check the spec on the back of it.
Okay, we don't even know.
What it truly is.
What are we even doing?
It might be like a brand new, like 2 million watt.
2 million watt. They're nice looking panels, the half cell design. I would say they're probably in the 300-ish watt range. We got some tank heaters going on here for the batteries. We got 2 of these Lossage batteries in here. And then, yeah, 12 volt system. It's gonna be fun. Oh, hey, check this out. They already came with battery cables.
Oh, how cute!
We don't need to make. We're good to go. We don't need to make these.
They'll easily hold 20 amps.
Nope. Throw those in the garbage. I don't know why they ship stuff like that. Oh, they do give you a thank you card though.
With a flower on it.
Yeah. What's on it? Thank you for your support. You know, that's really nice.
Is that handwritten?
No, but you know, they went through the trouble of putting it in there.
Yeah.
Nice. Now, one of the other things that we're doing in here that's a little bit different is this guy. Haven't seen one of these in a long time. Victron color control, or also known as a CCGX. This is before all the servos. We're thinking about installing it here on this wall, but let me show you pros and cons on this real quick. So here is the CCGX. It's a nice little monitor we can put here and let the customer, well, they can access things really nicely and easily. The only downside is no touchscreen on it. You access everything through these controls, which will look very familiar to anyone that's used the VRM interface with their GX device, is you get these software buttons on the web page. However, the downside is all of the connections are here. So that means if you got any VE Direct devices, you got to run that cable from here down to where JD's at, way over there. So how we're actually going to do that is by using a USB to VE Direct dongle, and that means we can use the USB connection here. Then Ethernet for the other ones, which isn't a problem. Ethernet is readily available, but those 4-pin VE Direct cables are a little trickier, so that's how I recommend doing it. And then you only got one cable you got to pull up, just a USB. You can run that into a USB hub and put as many VE Direct devices on that as you please, within reason, of course. I'm sure there are limits. So that's our plan here. We're going to put that up in here. But first, I got to investigate what's behind this wall before I cut a hole. So we're getting some of the wire on here. And as we were doing that, of course, we realized this pocket door is making it so we're going to have to step this out a little bit to let the CCGX fit all the wiring and everything that needs to be in there. So made this out of solid oak, and not super thrilled with the corners there, but that's the way the bracket is made on the, oh. Is my glue coming off? My glue was coming off there. Well, all right, I need to let that sit in the sun a little bit more. Anyway, the CCGX fits in here pretty tight with the bracket that's on there, and then I think we'll do some pocket holes top and bottom, and that's how and that is how we will secure that. Meanwhile, JD is in here
getting it done.
He is. He's fully committed right now. He's
enjoying every second of it.
So we had to do this this board in two parts because they got a generator. Customer is collaborating with us a little bit, and we want to do a buddy plug, or not we, he, but we want to do it because he wants it. So buddy plug 30 amp, and we're trying to figure out where to mount it, and it had this Furion external solar port charger, solar port for the whatever for the solar panels, and we got to thinking, you know what, this guy would probably fit right in there, so we're gonna put a hole saw right through it. This is the same size for that, and I think we're gonna be able to use this as the port and cover. But we are going to have to sacrifice that, obviously. I did a little pilot hole in there, and then we're just going to send it with the hole saw, and we'll see what happens. So on these 2019 and maybe older Grand Designs, they got this Furion solar charge plug here. And so what we ended up doing, cut that hole in there, cut that out, and put the 30 amp buddy plug in there. And then we're going to mount that buddy plug to a box like this. So right now, back here, it's just kind of test fit. Then this box will connect to the buddy plug, and it'll get sandwiched in between there because we got self-tapping screws that go into the buddy plug outlet itself. And then we plan on running the buddy plug into AC2 here, the AC2 out, and that is programmable. So we can have that only active if state of charge is over 50% or something like that. We'll play around with that. But that way, this guy can help a friend out, but also not drain his own batteries. All right, we are up on the roof here. JD's getting some of these tilt brackets installed. That's right, we are doing tilt brackets. That's what this customer wanted. These are 370 watt panels. We're doing 3 up here in the center section, and then 1 back there on the back. Customer had really initially thought about putting 1 up in the front there, but we didn't like how much wind that might catch. So we found that there was room for 3 here, so it's not going to be a problem. And to deal with the curvature of the roof, we cut out some biscuits, or whatever we're going to call them, out of HDPE plastic using a hole saw. And maybe there's better ways to do it, but we're trying to find a good way to do it right now. So that's how one of them looks right now.
Still got die core up the top of it and everything. But
yep. So initially we thought when we got into this business we were going to be installing a lot of panels like this. But what we figured out was a lot of times on the RV roofs there's not a lot of room. So we got 370 panels, or 370 watts times 4. What is that, JD? I'm not good with math. A little under 1600, 15 something? 1370 times 4.
Yeah, probably
15. Whereas with 200 watt panels, if we strung the lengths of them and we could even put some in the middle, I wouldn't be surprised if on a rig like this that we couldn't fit at least 1800 to 2400 watts of solar on here using 200 watt panels. But teach their own, and they're going to be able to tilt these, and that's going to work out just fine. So we are all about being flexible and ultimately doing what you want and what you need. All right, let's go check in on JD up here. He's getting the solar going.
Oh, it's going.
It's going.
Yeah. We're just securing the wires down now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's looking good. He done a good job.
Thank you.
Let's take a look at things up here to get a better sense of the layout and everything. Check out JD's Nice, neat wiring here. Nice trunk. And then we went down the old, there was a, this cap that was there. And we couldn't really reuse this one. So put the solar one on there. Liberal amount of die-core. She ain't leaking. And they actually, current owners just had the roof replaced on this via their insurance company, they tell me. And that was a little bit of a pain in the butt, I guess, but it is possible. You heard it here first. All right, I'm gonna get back down into that bay where I've been living and see if we can't get some stuff going.
I'm about all cleaned up here. I'll join you in a bit.
All right, sweet. So here's what we have going on inside the bay here. We actually do have solar turned on, even though we don't have batteries yet, just because I wanted to test a couple of things. Make sure some things were working. You can do that if you're not, as long as you're not really pulling any serious loads of any kind, it'll light everything up. We got our links there. It lit up. Check out this sweet buddy plug, huh? It turned out real good. It's in the box there. Check that out. And then here we're gonna put an exhaust fan here. And we may have to cut that hole a little bit bigger. And yeah, let that suck some air out. Just to try and keep it a little bit cool. Then here's the pass-through bay. It's a mess at the moment. I gotta wrap all that in conduit. And then here, got our AC main connected there. Got this alive here. And it is a little bit of a mess back there, but it works. And we had to use a right angle adapter on the USB there, which I happen to have. We're running the MPPT off of BMS or VE CAN. So we got the terminator on there. The one thing I did notice, and I'm kind of bummed out about, I didn't know this. I should have known. I just forgot. I'm so used to the servos. There's not Wi-Fi on this. So I'm gonna have to put a Wi-Fi dongle on there if they want it. We worked through the rest of the day getting the batteries installed and even got our world famous LED strip installed as day fell into night. Good morning, everybody. At least it is where we are. JD and I have been hard at work on this, and he's got the day off today. But we are about done anyway, so it's not a big deal. It's been about 2.5 days. Two guys crawling all over this thing to get the job done. Let's take a look at where we're at and what we've done here real quick. So in this compartment here, this is where the customer previously installed a like a power watchdog or some sort of power management system. And we just tied into that for the main connections. And in this one, we ended up not doing any splicing because way back there on that far wall is where the breaker box is. So we didn't have to do, you know, any of the splicing. We just ran new wire everywhere. So that wasn't a problem. And all you do, big question we get a lot of times is, how do we connect the inverters into the system? Well, you take the output of your automatic transfer switch and you put that into the input of your Multiplus. Take the output of the Multiplus and put that into the breaker panel. Put a couple screws back in there, and we're back in business. Then in here, just cleaning up a couple more things. Ran the generator start wires into the links up there on a 125 amp fuse. Shouldn't be a problem. We got two of these 300 amp hour batteries with a 200 amp BMS. That'll kick this over, no problem. And again, these are the Losagy. JD and I were trying to figure out how to pronounce it. Good looking batteries. Actually, I'm kind of curious if this panel comes out on these so you could actually potentially service them. I was hoping to maybe poke around in that, but I didn't get a chance to. But I kind of like these batteries. You know, 600 amp hours. It's almost as dense as the server rack batteries, which I do have an update on here shortly. So if you're curious about those, definitely stick around, subscribe. Okay, other things in here. So we got the MPPT in there, links. The other interesting thing here, got the tank heaters, and the tank heaters are actually for the batteries. Got that switch installed there. I bent up a piece of HDPE plastic using the torch to kind of mold a piece of plastic to be that little standoff there. We're getting tight on space, so we got to be efficient. Don't have the cover on there yet because we got to do some programming on that yet, which will be fun. Some special programming, because again, remember, we're using the AC2 output on this, and that's going, come on, that's going there. Then back here, you can probably see we got a little fan going. That is the fan just to exhaust, try and pull some of the hot air out of this compartment. Let's take a look here, getting the conduit or cable wrap. I don't know, what I use is kind of in between conduit and cable wrap, but I'm getting that sorted out there. Got a little bit more to do. This is actually what I use for the big heavy stuff. This is actually sump pump hose, and what I do is I just cut it to length and then split it down the middle. And I find this works really good. It's because it's a big enough diameter and it's really stiff. I feel like it protects a lot better than the typical cable wrap. Call me crazy, but I feel like it works. Then inside here, got a little bit of vacuuming to do yet, but this turned out really nice. I think you can see the rest of the trim. Did we exactly match it? No, but it's pretty close. We are not necessarily carpenters, but we do try our best. So again, for anyone who didn't see this before, this was just a plain wall. We built out this little kind of picture frame standoff, so all the connections on the CCGX could be made. And we're already making 130 watts of solar this morning. I'm hoping this guy gets charged up all on its own today. Customer's picking up actually tomorrow morning. So we just got a little things to wrap up here, and then got some other things we got to do in the shop. So I'm thinking what I do next, grab the computer and let's get to programming that Multiplus 2 and see if we can't get into a little bit of trouble and maybe we can all learn something. All right, we're about wrapping up and it's time to get that programmed for the...
Oh, that's awkward, sorry. Good morning.
JD showed up.
It's a great day.
He's got the best phone notification sounds, wouldn't you say?
What?
Comment down below.
Keeps me awake.
JD and I, we're going to investigate what the settings are that we need to adjust on here to get the AC2 output to not just default to only be active on AC input, but to be active on a certain state of charge, and we'll update you on what we find. So we put our heads together and we came up with the conditions that we want this programmable relay to work. And the relay is on the AC2 output on here, and that's this plug here. So when do we want this plug to come on? Talking with the customer, we want it to come on when the generator's running or there's shore power connected, or the state of charge is over 55%. So that's what we have here. If you want to do this for yourself, you have to add assistant. It's a relay, and it's a programmable relay. That's what we have added here. So then you start it, and we have it set to AC2 out relay. There's a whole bunch of other cool stuff you can do. And then these are the conditions to set the relay on. And we have the AC input and the state of charge. And this is the tricky part. JD and I believe that this, it says internal battery monitor, but we believe this really means the VE bus state of charge, which should be getting synced by the CCGX from the BMV, or the battery shunt rather. So we're not doing any of those options. So when AC is available for 10 seconds, turn the relay on, or when the state of charge is higher than 55%. Pretty simple. And then we have to have another assistant. When does it turn off? And we want it to be on even if you don't have AC input. So in this case, we are not turning it off based off of AC input. So yeah, this is the relay off settings. So yeah, we don't have AC input checked here on the off ones. The only thing that's going to turn it off is state of charge. So if state of charge is lower than 50%, the relay turns off. And then you have, of course, you have to send the settings if you're connected directly to it. We've already done that. All right, so we're thinking that's going to work.
It should work. Let's get some testing. See what happens.
Should. Actually, state of charge is probably just below 50%. We'll find out here in a moment with solar. Let's go take a look.
Perfect.
Okay, so currently the state of charge is at 50%. We're making plenty of power, so we're going to get over 50% here soon enough, or over 55, because this is the off condition, not the on condition. The on condition is over 55%. So we got to get over 55 to test it. So probably what we'll do is put an outlet or put something connected to that and see when it turns on.
Sounds great.
Hope so. I hope it works. I don't know. Hey, this is the first time I think JD's seen my little handiwork there. What do you think?
Yeah, look at that woodwork right there. Yeah. I'm impressed. Looks nice. Matches the trim of everything else.
JD's the more the finished carpenter than I am. So.
I don't know. That's beautiful work right there.
That's high praise. Thank you. We're plugging into here. So far, nothing. That's good. That's in the millivolt range on the AC. All right, we are at 55%. Approaching 56 here shortly, so we're going to go out and see if that thing clicks on. If our theory is correct.
So is that, what's that, the servo thing called? The screen in there?
CCGX.
CCGX, is that Bluetooth as well?
I don't know. It's not even Wi-Fi.
Oh, that's my Jeep that was clicking.
Oh.
I should set off the ignition.
JD's Jeep has some kind of problems. Well, JD, you could probably have your phone up and Bluetooth on the shunt.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
We're monitoring here.
You can get some real-time data.
Yeah.
Still at 55%.
Okay, that's good, because I was getting worried.
No, we're not changing the pan.
I feel like I need to record this entire thing. Or what would be the amp hours that we need to be looking for? Let's do some math. Maybe 280? Or no, we're going backwards. Maybe 270? What's 56% of 600?
I'd pull up a calculator, but...
Well, 300 be 50.
Mm-hmm. So 6
be...
amp hours is 1%.
We missed it. I was thinking 270. It would have to get to 270 even. It just went to 270.8.
And then it clicked.
And then we heard it click. So awesome. So that means...
That's working.
We learned a couple of things, actually. Well, one, we learned how to program it. And two, that the shunt communicates to the VE bus through the GX device. In this case, a CCGX. So that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess the next test would be...
Making sure it shuts off.
Yeah, bring it down past 55. And then the other...
Past 50, isn't it?
Or yeah, sorry, past 50. Which hopefully we can do faster if we run the air conditioner.
I think so.
Yeah. Actually, we could arbitrarily set it. Do that from the phone. We can do that.
Let's do that. It says our state of charge is 55.7.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's cruising up. So 49?
Yeah. It's probably going to take a little bit for the VE bus to... Oh, we got to go lower. Oh, there it goes. Awesome. It's a thing of beauty. Okay, now let's go plug into shore.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be right back. Actually, we need to set the AC input current limit before we do this.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, but we're going from 15 amp all the way up to a 50 just to test the AC input. So I'm gonna go adjust that quick and then I'll let JD know. All right,
Here we go.
contact. And we're waiting. Was the cord lit up green?
Yep.
Okay, we're waiting. Oh, well, it's got a...
The transfer switch in there?
Yeah, the transfer switch has to be happy with it too. So we plugged things in over there, but things didn't work.
Didn't like the power.
Turns out there's an EMS system in here, and JD was smart enough to figure that out. So what do we got to do there?
We just have to bypass it. Right now the system is saying it doesn't like the power for whatever reason.
Okay, so JD is going to put that in bypass mode here in a second.
Just tell me when you're ready.
All right, we're ready.
There you go. I just heard it just tip over the EMS.
Okay, and now we got to wait for the Multiplus to see it.
I think it's 10-second delay on shore power.
Oh, that's right. That's what we had here. There it goes. And why do we have 50 volts there? That's really weird. I don't trust that. That voltage just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, 50 something again. Let's take a look in here.
I think that's half of what.
That does look like half. So why is it only showing half now? Yeah, it is like that 97, 98. All right, we were doing some more digging on the situation of this low voltage, almost half voltage. And what it seems like is when there's AC in on AC1, sometimes there can be some leakage to the to AC out 2 even before the relay actually engages. And that's potentially what we were reading, because we gave it a little bit more time and eventually it switched over, and now actually switched out to a better outlet anyway, and we're getting a little bit higher voltage than what we were before. We were getting like 98 out of here because it was a long extension cord and we were charging batteries from it. Now we're charging from a better extension cord, better outlet, and we're at 110, which is more better where we want to be anyway, and maybe
More better.
Yeah, more
Very
better.
more better. Yeah.
So I think we got that solved and pretty happy with that. So anyway, sounds like give the AC2 output a little bit of time. That's what some people were saying online as well.
And it hands it over.
Yeah. This is really cool. I think we're going to be doing this a little bit more. Maybe even getting more into the assistant programming even more, especially on our own systems for sure.
Oh, yeah.
We'll experiment on ourselves first.
It'll be good.
JD, I don't know, maybe this is breaking news. We just ordered JD a Multiplus for his rig.
I know.
He's
That'll
doing
be exciting times.
He's doing something a little crazy. Definitely you're going to want to subscribe if you want to see that. It's going to be crazy.
It'll be a little crazy.
I don't think many people are doing it.
We can get it to work though.
I think he can.
Mm-hmm. Did you label the batteries?
No.
Fresh and waste, so he knows which tank heater?
No, I didn't.
Which? Oh, you should. So, no.
No. That's the final discussion that we're trying to figure out. We got all the kinks worked out as far as we can tell. We're feeling proud of this one.
It turned out really nice.
It did.
The way the customer really wanted all this stuff right here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really impressed that we got it to fit, be extremely functional.
Yeah.
And with ventilation.
Yeah, me too.
Which I think is really important with the generator right here.
All right, let's close this thing out. This has been a really fun adventure, fun project. If you need solar on your RV, batteries in your RV, anything like this, we love doing this big, complex stuff. But we don't only do big and complex stuff, but it's complex and a little crazy. So if you need help with it, give us a call, give us a text, send us an email. We'd love to help you out. And again, JD's got the place down in Arizona.
Yeah, we'll be ramping up in November again.
Yep, so if you can't make it up to Minnesota or you can't get on our schedule, we'll be down there. All right.
See ya.